What would having an extra $1,000 or even $5,000 do for you right now? How would it change your life in this moment to have that drop into your lap? That is what this video is about today because I want to help you do just that. This is what I'm doing inside of my membership, Your First 5K, and more than 1,000 people have joined in less than a month. Less than a month. It's been amazing. We celebrated our 1,000th member on day 26, I believe, and it has just been outstanding ever since. I'm going to show you a little bit of a sneak peek inside of the membership in a moment. But first, what I want to do is help you, whether you join or not, think through some ways to make that money because your answer probably was that it would help you in a meaningful way if you clicked on this video. So let's get together, get your notebook out, get your draft out, and take notes on this. Pause when you need, rewind when you need. But these are simple steps. And if there's anything that you want more information on, exactly how to do it, scripts, templates, step-by-step guidance that I can give you, you're going to find it inside of the membership. The membership is just $10 per month for the next 1,000 people. So we reached 1,000, and now for the next 1,000, it's only $10 per month, or get 58% off and get it for just $50 for the year. There's no better value online right now than Your First 5K. I just know that with confidence. So, what is the first thing? The first idea is that you're going to get paid to help someone with a free or paid tool. And what I mean with that is that you're going to help guide them. So you're going to choose something like ChatGPT or an AI agent that we just talked about, if you know how to use one, or Zoom, Calendly, something that is a tool that you use, Canva, that you use and you know how to use it. You do not have to be an expert or certified. You just simply know how to use it. You know how to register for it. You know what certain terms mean, some shortcuts, things of that nature. And you're going to promote the fact that you will help someone one-on-one with guidance for $25, for $50 to learn how to do this. You're going to spend 30 minutes, 60 minutes with them and take them through it step by step. And there are so many people who would pay you for that because they don't know how to do it. If you know how to upload a video onto YouTube, you know more than billions of people in the world. So if you think about that and think about what is something that I use on a day-to-day basis or use weekly or just enough that I know how to do it, that I could simply help someone else get clarity and help them understand. People love to feel smarter. And especially if you can help them feel smarter in a short amount of time, like my videos do, like your offer could do, this is valuable for people. And it doesn't have to take up too much of your time or their time. You just get them to a solution. And I teach you exactly how to do this step by step in my 5-day challenge that I have inside of the membership. And when I say step by step, I mean each day I spend between 45 minutes and 2 hours walking you through exactly what to do, exactly how to find your offer, how to promote it, and how to sell it, and then how to deliver it. There's so much there for you to have, and it's right in front of you. So this offer is low pressure for you and for them. It gives immediate value almost, and you're selling speed and clarity, which are both super, super valuable. One of our members made $375 with an offer just like this that was like $25 each. Number two is you're going to do a digital drop. And what this is actually you could take from the same thing that we talked about before, or it could be a different topic. And you're going to create a checklist, an idea list, a template, something that is digital that can be used over and over again, that can be downloaded over and over again, but you only have to create it once. It could be something from a past business that you've had, something you've done in the past, or something that you do now. As long as someone else would get benefit from it, it will be something that you can sell. Sell it for $10, $8, $20, $70. You can sell it for what it's worth, for its value. And you can even do like a one pager if that one pager takes someone from not knowing how to do something or not having a solution to having a solution. If you can create a mini transformation, you have something of value. This could also be a video. Let's say you record a 30-minute video and take someone, show your screen, take someone step by step through a process. Make sure they can hear you, make sure they can see you. Even if you turn your video off, but they can hear you and they can see the screen. And this is for my introverts and for my faceless channel people, because you were always asking about this. Turn the video off, share your screen, and walk people through something that you know how to do. You could then take that video, put it on Gumroad or put it behind some sort of paywall, and that access to it costs a certain amount of money. And you want to have this between $10 and $97. But you just want it to be something that if somebody watched it without your help, they could understand without you intervening. You can say, I made this for myself, and if it helps you here, if you think that it'll help you, here's the link, right? And that's how you can promote it. Now, I have a workshop inside of the membership, Your First 5K, that teaches you exactly how to do this as well. If you are not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe now so that you don't miss any of my videos. There are going to be at least 10 people in the next 7 days who are going to make $1,000 from this video, from something they picked up on this video. Are you one of those 10 people? If you are, let me know in the comments, because we have 3 more amazing, amazing ideas that you can just take from me right now. You can just take it and run with it and give it a try. The next idea is to sell your notes. And I love this one because I have purchased, well, all of these I have purchased before. Most of these I have sold. But if I have purchased it, I know that there's an audience for it. So this one is a really interesting, cool one. I went to an event recently where I took some notes. And I didn't sell my notes, but I did provide my notes to my Arlan's All Access membership. And they were so valuable, the notes that I took. So that those members didn't have to spend the money to go to this event, to travel. And they weren't invited because it was a private event. So they couldn't even get in if they paid. But they imagine you went somewhere, you went to an event, you took a class, you did a virtual summit, anything of that nature, and you took really great notes along the way. Even with the help of AI, you took notes and then you had AI help you organize them. You could sell those notes from a podcast, from anything that is a lot of information that you're giving your own spin on and organizing for people so they get the top takeaways. They get exactly the information they need. Imagine that the event was a full day event and your notes could be read over a 30-minute period. Again, you're giving people clarity and you're saving them time. This is valuable. So this could be something from $7 to $97 or even more depending on what it is. The more valuable it is to people where it helps them make the most money, the more you can charge for it. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, let me know in the comments that this is something is resonating with you. And let me know of the first 3, which one you think you're going to try. So you might say something like, I learned about $1 million offer and I'm going to teach you in 2 pages of notes, right? I learned $1 million worth of information that I'm going to teach you in 10 minutes because you're going to give them notes. You can turn it into a framework. You can create a script out of it. ChatGPT and all these other AI platforms will help you and even give you suggestions of what you could actually turn this into besides just straightforward notes. The possibilities are endless, but it's simple. And if speaking of ChatGPT, I have a custom GPT that I created that has hours and hours of my own intellectual property and my own teachings put into this virtual coach clone of mine that I make available to members of my membership. So if you want to, if you're using ChatGPT, but you want to like get to where you need to go 10 times faster because it knows exactly what to ask you rather than you asking it, then join the membership, just $10 a month or $50 for the year, and you'll have immediate access to that GPT. That alone is worth way more than the $50 for the year. Now, are you ready for the fourth and fifth ideas? If you like these ideas so far, you're going to love the fourth and fifth idea. And I cannot wait to see which viewer or which member actually does these things and comes back and tells me because I love hearing these stories. Okay, so the fourth one is the $100 starter bundle. You're going to take three small digital products that you have and you're going to bundle it. People love getting a bundle deal and you're going to create it and sell it over a weekend. You can even use bumpsale.co to sell it in a gamified way. I have a couple of videos on my YouTube channel. So if you look up my name and the word bump sale, it'll teach you how to do this. But essentially what it does is lets you take two lines of code, put it on your payout section, like your payment page, and you can sell something for $1, and then the next time someone buys it, it's $2, and then the next time it's 3, and so on. And when you do the math using the calculator on bumpsell.co, it actually really adds up over time. So if you sell something for, if you sell like 20 of these, you make $200 or so. Or if you sell 50, you make more than $1,000. But the customers only had to pay a very small amount of money on their way up for you doing that. So that's really interesting, but you don't even have to do that. You can just do this straightforward and say, I have these three digital products that I came up with, a checklist, a video tutorial about how to use the checklist, and I have this third thing that you probably can figure out. And again, I have so many options for you in the membership. It could be an email template, it can be all kinds of things. And then you bundle it and you say, you get all of this for $35 or you get all of this for $27. And it's just like this no-brainer idea. But the key is too, you want to call it something like a starter kit or a micro course or something, a bundle. You want to use the word bundle in it. You want to use the words guide and things like that because people really they really react to that. Now, before we get to the fifth and one of the coolest ideas there is, I'm going to show you, I told you in the beginning of this video that I was going to show you some of the inside of the membership. And I'm going to try to do that now. So I'm going to show you that. And right now, we're in the classroom section of Your First 5K Club. I've gone directly to the Start Here section of the classroom. This is the 5-day challenge I told you about. This is the core training, which on its own is worth $5,000 or more. And there's all kinds of benefits you get for being an annual member. I would go straight to the annual. There's even a YouTube accelerator that I've never done before inside of this membership. You get all of it. But if you go to Start Here, I want to show you some of the member wins. And this was launched April 18th, 2025. Incredible. We have more than 1,000 members. Let's go right into it. So she made $120 after day one session of the 5-day challenge. $120 made that. Gail signed a $6,000 client today. Carmen had an unexpected win where somebody came in out of the blue and became a customer. Dion says she's overwhelmed, but when you read it, it says I'm overwhelmed with like how blessed I am in this community. She ended up being one of our most popular interviews that I've done on YouTube from this membership. And she has brought in so many people to the membership because it's working for her. So she's made lots, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars since she joined, and maybe even more than 1,000 by now. My first win, this is just the start, like all the information. So pause this just to read through, right? I just booked a 15-minute in-person VIP event because it was one of the options that I talked about. Cambria had an event, had a win. Esther had a win. 20 people have signed up for my upcoming workshop. It's incredible, right? I had fun today and I made a one sale of a digital product in person. TL made this digital product sale in person at a flea market. It's just the possibilities are endless. Like look at all of, I don't even have to read all of these out loud. Look at this. And this gets stopped at 12, I think. So I had to start adding these. She got the email, she got a $30,000 yes. Okay. Now that's not normal, typical inside of your first 5K. But think about it like this. If you well, I'll show you this really quickly. So look at this. Like we just have 1,000 members. We have an FAQ section that everybody loves. 2.5 thousand comments in our welcome intro here. It's just really, really supportive and happy and cool in there. But think about it like this, and we still have the number 5 and what I think is probably the most interesting of the options. So stick around. But think of it like this. If it costs $50 for a full year of your first 5K, and you were only to make $100 from something I taught you inside of your first 5K in a year, then you've 2x'd your investment. If you make $1,000 from something I teach you in a year, then you've 20x'd your investment. And if you make the full 5,000 that I am confident in teaching you how to do in one way or another that you can learn inside of your first 5K club, that's 100x of your investment. That's 100x return of your investment. There's just very little that does that. And you have a full year to make that. And what people are finding is, like I said, we've just been around for like less than a month and all those wins already happened. So it's not like people were waiting around a year to get to the wins. Now, the fifth idea that you can just take right now and run with it is you're going to do a combo. And this combo is really powerful and helpful. And those two things make for a great offer, and they make for something that you could even charge 100, 200, 3, 500, or even more. And that is you're going to do a combo. This is what I do a lot of the time. Okay. You're going to do an audit plus a game plan offer. So what you're going to do is you're going to review someone's existing something. And that's going to be in your lane, wherever you figure out, I know this stuff, I've done this, or I can learn it. I mean, I'm learning stuff in 24 hours and turning it around. So there's no excuse, right? But let's say they have a website or their own bio, or they have a brand. Some people are doing resume reviews. They have some clothing, outfits, anything you can think of in your lane. If you have done something in the past, then you can probably help someone else do it. Remember the lab. Have you learned from it? Have you applied it? And have you benefited from it? That's that lab framework to say, what can I offer? Have I learned from something? Did I then apply it, what I learned? And then did I benefit from that? What you can do then is they pay for it. Like you explain what you're going to do. They pay for it. You then go review it. You spend 30 minutes looking at their website or looking at whatever it is. You review it, you take notes, you say, oh, they could change this, they could move this around, dot, dot, dot. Then you get on Loom or Zoom or QuickTime or wherever, but Loom and Zoom are going to be your best bets for sharing your screen. And you share your screen, if it's virtual, you show them what you just reviewed. And you say, okay, this part of your website. And then for 10 or 15 minutes, you simply walk them through the changes you would recommend. You say, I would change this, the font here, the color here. You see this, this, and that. I would move that around. Or if it's a resume, I would change this and scratch this out. You could show them on the screen or walk them through. If it's not something you can show them on the screen, you can simply be on screen and just talk them through it. So what you've done is you've audited their work, and now you're giving them a solution, a game plan for what happens next. And that, depending on what it is, could be so valuable. It's like having a call, but it's asynchronous. So it's a little different. So it's like, I'm going to just hand you the solution. I'm just going to tell you what you need to do. And the other way around is like, I'm going to have a conversation, walk you through it live. There's no better or worse option. These are just different ways you could do it so that your personality or your resources or your bandwidth can match with one of the five. So if you missed any of the five or if any of them didn't make sense the first time you heard it, rewind this video, go back and find it or look for it in the links here and the sections. And there's going to be one that works for you. If you're saying to yourself, wait a second, these are good ideas, but I can't sell that. Like who's going to buy that from me? I would highly recommend you join your first 5K and take that day one and day two, days one and day two of the 5-day challenge. I would look through the community posts to see other people who have thought the same thing, and then they're like, "Oh, but then I also sold something the next day." And I would highly recommend that. And then what I want to talk about too is that someone asked me, a member asked me inside. Actually, I think I might even find it because I wanted to refer to it. Let's see if I can find it fast. So let's see. Someone asked me. Okay, let's see. Give me a sec here. So I had a special message about overwhelm. We talked about it's getting great responses. Let's see what they say. Another win. I can't keep up with that. Maybe it's not on this page. I think it may be on the second page. Okay. And you can only see what's really in these when you click in on the membership. Okay, is it that one? No, wow, Arlen, that's not it. But it's, oh, here it is. Dion Nicole said, Arlen, are you magic? So Dion said, seriously, when do you have the time to be doing all of this? Running multiple communities, investing, being a wife, a daughter, a friend, YouTube star, building apps and GPTs, because I've been teaching you inside of your first 5K how to make your own custom GPT, how to make your own AI agent, or how to use an AI agent, all kinds of things that I don't put on YouTube that are like deep dives. Even if I put the video about it on YouTube, I have a deeper dive in the classroom. I need to know more about how you prioritize and decide what gets your attention first, second, etc. I feel like this is an area I need improvement in. Can this be a topic you discuss in a future call? And I said 100% I'll make a video about it. So that's what I want to talk about. We had a lot of people saying, yeah, I want to hear that too. So I want to just say that I've had a lot of time to figure out who I am and figure out what I want out of life and what I want my day to day to look like, what I want my years to look like. I'm 44. I've seen some things, and I'm still very young, right? There's still so much more for me to see. And I just today am very content with not being too flashy, not being everywhere. There was a year, a few years ago, that I was out from my home. I was out on the road for 300 of the 365 days. And I made some big things happen that year. And every year after it was more like 200 or 100 or 180, right? So it was like years and years of that. And I just spend a lot of time at home now. And I'll do little sprints here and there. You'll see me go out for a couple of weeks and come back. But I really spend a lot of time home. So I am able to get a lot more done because I'm able to really hyper focus. I also only work on things that I truly enjoy, that give me energy rather than take from me. And if I find that something is taking energy from me after a while, because you don't know 100% when you start, I will delegate it or I will figure out how to not do it or I will figure something out because that's just the fastest way to burn out is to do stuff that you just hate doing or stuff that is just not, there's no good reason for it. And I think over time we do a lot of things we don't want to do because we think we're supposed to, or we have responsibilities. I will also say I have no children. I think that's a major part. I have no children. So there is a very different way that I can show up for the world. I don't get woken up by someone stepping on my face. I can wake up when I want to. I have a family, but I don't have young ones that I'm responsible for directly. So I think that's a major part of it. And that was by design. I have chosen not to have children. I'm very happy with it and excited about it. So don't worry about that. But I think that's another thing. And I also feel like um, I I plan my days a little bit in advance. So the night before, I'll take a look at my schedule for the next day. I'll definitely understand what my day looks like, and I will take anything off of the day that has kind of been put there, and I realize I don't want it there. So if there's a call I don't want to have, I'll find a way not to have that call. I'll remove it from my schedule, or I'll reschedule it to when I can feel better about it. Um, and here's another thing that I do, and I don't think this is possible for everyone, but I do think it's possible for you if you learn how to make $5,000 like that, because you can then kind of say, I work for myself, I make my own schedule, etc. And what that is that for years, and I mean until very recently, for a decade or more, had calls throughout the day or meetings in some way or form 4 days a week, like 4 weekdays a week, if not more. And it was just always like, okay, well, the next day I'm going to have this many calls, and I only have 3 today, or I have 7 today, or I have 10 today. And what I have decided is that I will only have a string of calls on 1 day a week, and then I may have one call here, one call there throughout the week. But I'm not going to have like these all day call days. And what that does is it frees me up to think. It frees me up to strategize. It frees me up um, to to process. And when I can process and get a little above water, I can really think and create some powerful things. And I put people in rooms together and I make stuff happen. I also say that, I've had different numbers of people who work for me or with me at a given time. I've had teams of up to 40 across 2 continents at once. I've had it where it's just me, and I'm busy, busy, busy. I've had it where it's me and one executive assistant, which has been, an incredible person. But right now, I'm keeping things lean. I am strategically placing people, though, and they're contractors, so they're not employees where they're salaried, and I have to kind of stress about that. I also stepped down as managing partner of Backstage Capital, the venture fund that I grew from the ground in December, so that I could focus on being an entrepreneur and a teacher. And what I do there is I have calls with them once or so a month, and then I'll do emails back and forth a little bit. And I bring in like big deals. I'll bring in like a major funding, or I'll bring in like a big collaborator, but I won't do that day to day, which has just kind of changed my life what my life has been for the past 12 years is different in 2025. So there's all these things that go into it. Now, I think this biggest part that I would want to convey to you, and how I do the number of things that I do, is that in addition to not doing things I don't want to do, I do things very intentionally into what I do want to do and what I'm not only energized by, but incredibly curious about. So I will get into these zone sprints where I just spend like 2 weeks or a week or a month, or in the case of YouTube, a year plus, just hyper focused on a topic, and I'll just learn as much as I possibly can about that topic so that I can synthesize it and give it back and send it out to other people. So to me, I can like start something at 10 a.m. and I'll look up and it's 8 p.m. and I don't realize that that happened. Or I'll have a day where like 3 different companies of mine have had major, major events happen, and is because I made these kind of calls happen, or I had this idea or did something. So it's like I get into that zone. If you've seen Soul, the cartoon from Pixar, that's where I am most days, is in that zone. And I also spend a lot of time resting and charging the batteries. because that is as important as the actual work. If you don't rest and charge the batteries, the output that you have, you can go for a little bit at like your top tier high gear speed, but it's going to run out at some point, even the best of us. And I spend a lot of time recharging. I'm going to, Angel City's behind me. Angel City is the soccer team, women's soccer in LA. I'll be watching Angel City this weekend. And when I'm not watching them on TV because they're away, I'm at the game in our season ticket, seats in the director's box, watching them, having fun, spending hours just kind of doing my thing. Shout out to Savvy King. I'm so glad you're healthy, and the rest of the team. I will watch a lot of TV. I watch so much TV. I have always watched a lot of TV. It's always been the case, and I watch a lot of TV. I watch Elsbeth and Found and Matlock and Murder She Wrote. I still do watch that. I watch General Hospital every day, but sometimes I don't watch it every day, but I watch every episode. So I'll catch up on the weekends if I need to. I watch Rachel Maddow, Pod Save America. That's on YouTube. I watch hours of YouTube a day. So some of that is research. A lot of it is research. I'll watch like 2-hour tutorials on YouTube. Um, but a lot of it is just rest. And it's just like taking care of me because YOLO, you you only live once. YOLO, you only live once. And I just want to take a breath. I want to like smell the flowers, all the things. I've just spent the last decade of my life building Backstage Capital, investing in more than 200 companies, spending 7 days a week, 365 days a year working on it, and then other entities that sprung from that. And it's bigger than ever. It's going off into incredible places that I was able to hand it over to people who can help, and my partner Brittany Davis, who is there, could take it to the next level. And I'm going to take advantage of that. I am going to take my own, what I consider my next level. And that's going to be a lot of this content for you. Um, I believe I'll get to 1 million subscribers on YouTube. And I don't know how long it'll take, but I believe I will get there. And it won't be like a decade, it'll be within a few years, if not less. And there's a lot that goes into doing that. And to me, it's not a vanity metric. It's not just like, oh, you got 1 million people. When you're in the education space and you're a Black woman who is, talking about topics from home on Zoom, and you have 1 million subscribers, I think that means something. I think that is very powerful. And I'm kind of known for setting big audacious goals for myself and reaching them. In 2015, I said I wanted to invest in 100 companies led by underrepresented founders by 2020. We reached 100 in 2018. And I had said that at 2015 when I was homeless. We reached it, and then we reached 200 just a few years later. I am sober now. It'll be 8 years in July that I am sober from alcohol after being addicted for 15 years because I set a goal. I had major stage fright for most of my life until I was about 36 years old. I couldn't speak in front of more than 5 people at a time for various reasons. And now I speak in front of tens of thousands of people at a time in person, get paid for it. I'm one of the most requested speakers in tech and venture. And it's because I set a goal for myself. And so my goal is to teach as many people as possible how to make money and how to make the 5K that starts with the 100. That's why I do the 5-day challenge instead of your first 5K, because we're at 1,000 members now. I know we'll be at 2,000 soon. I just know it. Like if you're still watching this, like so long after I started this video, and you're still here, you need to be in your first 5K, if not Arlan's All Access, whichever one is more your speed. You need to be there. So if you want to make your first 5K starting with your first $100, you go to your first 5K, which the link is in the description. So you want to make your first $100,000 and you've already made your first 5K, I would skip right over to Arlen's All Access. And you may even want to work with me one-on-one in my inner circle. But in any case, if you're still here, you're my people. We should be working together. And if you're in the memberships already, I want to thank you so much again. You 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 make my life very meaningful, and I appreciate you. I hope that this video helped. I hope that it answered questions, and I hope that you're implementing these things. Take 50% of your time to learn and 50% to do. And if you do that, you will be unstoppable.